So I used to hike up to this lake, and they're always eating midges, but it's always windy and you can't see anything, and so this is just a blind device that they like to eat. Oh, I found my other tubing. If anybody needs some more, I got it. So basically we're doing a pupa with an orange heart, and then we tie a wing on it with some rubber legs. Okay, here we go.
I thought you were doing this on a straight hook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a straight. Normally I tie this 2 sizes smaller, but we're gonna do it bigger. Like I like to tie this on an 18, so it's like a 20.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Right.
But we're tying it bigger. So leave a good space at the head. So leave that. I don't want to do that yet. You're just gonna tie the tubing on right here. Whoops. Get a little piece up there. So you're gonna tie that on. Once again, you kind of pull it and then crank it. Crank it. So you want it really thin. And all you're gonna do is just cover that shank. So you got the black shining through. You're just gonna cover it. And then once you get to the middle here, you're gonna add this orange piece. And not a lot. You don't want it, you want it compact. You just want it to cover itself once, like this, and grab that little tag. So it's kind of right in the middle. And I'm just gonna literally come up behind it like that and keep it in front. And we're gonna make it a little thicker, so I'm gonna get rid of that tag. I'm just gonna build it up. So I compress that down, which gets me my taper. And I just want to come up here and clean that up, that little tag. I want to sneak some thread wraps into it. Okay. There's still a guy over there, I can see him. What the hell? There we go. I'm just going to sneak that without making it too bulky. And then I'm just going to take that tan over it and go kind of loose. You want this to look like it's a gray covering, but the black will shine through.
So you're not stretching too much?
Not much.
Are they touching wraps?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I really can't tell.
They're supposed to be touching.
They're supposed to be touching, yeah. So ideally, when that's charcoal gray, it looks really like an off black, which is pretty good. I just went jet black. So it looks kind of like that. But I saw this on the snow and it was funny. I went home and tied it and went back, and it was amazing how they ate it. And I think it's just that orange glow in the middle. But I want it a lot subdued. Like I'll use olive thread a lot, more midgey. Just because I had black, I went black, but I like it olive and like gray and a charcoal gray more than anything. So what's funny about this is I'll actually create a pupa head. So it's almost like a pupa that's winged. So I'll build a big head once we get there. I'm actually gonna come up here like this and build it up a little bit. So it's kind of bulkier with the thread. So I'm actually gonna create this little pupa head like on a nymph that's bulky, and I'm gonna tie in that little reservoir again with the hair. So I'm gonna create that. So it's bulky, and then I'm going to set my thread in the reservoir. You're going to get little, much finer elk like Comparadon, so it's just really thin, so it looks proportionate for the fly. You still have to hit it a lot with floating, but you can see it. It's awesome. And then when you strip it, the rubber legs, it moves and they eat it. It's like just stripping a Chernobyl ant, sort of, kind of, but they take it for a midge. Oh man, and I have plenty to give. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting seasick.
Is it moving?
Well, no, it's not you. Dave needs to figure out his cinematography. He's never going to get an Oscar when the whole
Is that better?
Comments. You
tap anywhere you want to, Sam. Tells me to go.
I tell you, I got
Bite your monkey nuts.
this lady keeps telling me I need to learn tapping. She taps for her anxiety. I don't know what the hell that is, but maybe I do. So my hair's not the best in the world. I got little broken ends.
Split ends?
Yeah.
See it now, a couple years from now, Dave getting a
So you're gonna.
roster for short flight time.
Oh heck yeah. So you just want to get the curves where they're at, but you're gonna extend it over the body, just like a midge has big wings, you know, kind of like an elk. Here I'm gonna pinch it like that. Kind of keep it tight and controlled, like around, and then go straight down, straight up, straight down. And then I'm gonna lay it back, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna grab and go up like you would on elk hair. Grab in between it, flare it, and we're just flaring it between that little, our head right there. And then I'm gonna create the head and build it bigger like a pupa head. And the cool thing about this is, at the end, we're gonna put a big piece of razor foam. And so you can see this thing a mile away. So I'm gonna clip this stuff and leave it like you would elk hair. So kind of a little mohawk, but not crazy. But now I usually tie this like, honestly, 2 sizes smaller. I've never tied it this big, so. So I leave a mohawk like that, right?
Yeah, I was thinking I tied a lot smaller myself.
It's the same hook, only and so you get like a wing, and I'll clip them if they're on the sides. It's kind of like an old Bibio, the old Bibio that had the red in it. And then what's cool is we're just gonna do the same thing, split the little black legs for balance, and then we're gonna put a big cider and razor foam on top. And I like to get that guy out of there. But it's cool because it's something you can strip, but you can hang a midge underneath it, but they'll eat it. And it's just stupid. Okay. So here we go. I got one hanging on that side.
Yeah.
Low? Where's he at?
The front head.
Front.
Oh. Alright. I need to look. Oh, that guy. I wasn't looking that way. You talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Everyone's a critic. What the hell? You can see closer than I can. I have to look at the board.
They do that.
Imagine
Sorry to leave you guys hanging like that.
About 3 feet long from this side.
I didn't even see it.
Imagine how intimate this would be if we didn't have the cameras.
Right. No, that's how I do it. So now same thing. This one it's easier to kind of do the cheap. It's hard to get these little rubber legs anymore. The little teeny ones, but you just pull it over like that and get it kind of lined up. Same thing, put some tension on it. And then cut these because this is one you can lose your tension real easy. So you crank it, get it good, because that's its balance. There's no hackle, that's the only thing that's balancing it. And usually my hair is much thinner, so the hair's not doing as much for the balance. The legs are key. And then just go on top. I'm gonna have to go a wrap because that won't hold.
Why do you think it's hard to find these small legs?
I don't know why, but it seems like everybody's making small but not extra small. You know what I mean? So I just notice as I order all the time that hell, I can't find my legs. I think everybody just ties them bigger these days, and there's so many different legs out there. So see how that one's messed up? You take pressure, go as close as you can to it, and you can grab that sucker and bring it in usually, maybe. I think I'm above. So if you crack, right there, see how I grabbed him? So it's just thread pressure with legs, and I think that's key because that's what balances it. And the more they get eaten, the more they want to compress and not have that, you know? But don't be afraid of how big the legs are. Like, I wish I had my box, I'd show you these things because they're a lot smaller. But the legs are huge and you think it would affect it, but they don't. So you cut those short. And then leave these about the length of the body. So it looks like that.
It makes it look like a water strider.
Right. And then I'll go really short on these front ones, about like that. Yeah, it just gives that imprint. Everything that has this like X thing on the surface looks like everything, like a caddis. Like they all make that little imprint, that foreprint. So it just looks like something. And then razor foam. Does anyone have razor foam? Woohoo! Orange, I like. Actually, yellow stands out really good on these. Chartreuse is good. I just find I like orange in the evening, but I like yellow on these ones. Orange in the evening just stands out, and if it gets sunk, fish don't mind eating orange for some reason. They just eat it.
So are you using the 2 mil foam on this?
So 1 mil, much thinner.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I got some. So I use like a 1 mil or.
If you don't have it. then
Oh, sure.
2 mil
It's
fine.
you can. It just
Just so you won't catch
Go to
fish.
fish tank and buy some like.
it just looks weird. But you know the problem is
A lot of times.
because it's kind of finessey. But I like the yellow with the black for some reason. I like it more. But it just put a big piece. See how big that is, and you can see it a mile away. Problem with razor foam is you get a toothy fish and it could come off after 2 fish sometimes. So go 2 millimeter. Just proportionally, it looks weird, but it probably worked fine. Oop, bad scissors. And then that's it. And then you whip finish it, and that's the ET midge. It has that glowing heart. And then the whip. Did I find my big one? And I'll show you, but there's one more step to this too, because I actually take Sally Hansen's and I'll shine that thorax. I want that black thing shiny. So I want it to look like a big pupa underneath just sitting in the film. So I'll put head cement on that bump. So right now I'm going to take that bump and I'm going to put head cement on it and not get the... And I'll do it twice because I want it to shine. I want it to bulk up and look like a big thorax. So it looks like a big pupa that's just sitting in the film.
UV.
You could. That's actually...
UV flora.
But I like it shiny, and UV stuff dulls. So I like to just put a drop, watch this, a drop right on top. And then turn it so it's not going to go into my rubber legs. And I'll let it dry for a second, and then I'll hit it again. So it has this cool glossy like thorax, and it just looks like a big pupa just sitting there. Because they have big heads, and so it will look like that. It's just kind of bulky. See how bulky it is? And then I'll do it twice. But you gotta try not to get the rubber legs, because if you do, it'll actually, the chemicals make them contract sometimes. So you try not to get your legs. But this thing is, it's crazy because you strip it and they eat it. It's like you're just trying to go tight with your little dropper, and all of a sudden they just come up and eat this thing. It's cool. It was a fluke. It's a fluke. So usually I'll wait, but I want to get it a little bit into that back right here. And I'll turn it. And then usually I'll take a feather real quick so I make sure I didn't glue my eye. And just run a feather through it to make sure that you can get to the water, it's not goofed up. But the olive one is dangerous. I use olive with the tan tubing, and that one's awesome. And the gray with the orange. And then just run a feather through there and make sure that's clean. There you go. That's it.
Alright,
Isn't that cool?
really cool.
It's just a fun little dude. He fishes all over. I mean, you could do all sorts of stuff. It's just a hot spot in the heart. But there you go. And see, I'll usually at home, because I didn't see that, I'd go up on the sides with my glue too. Because I can see better at home, I'll go up and make that like up on the sides, the big ball. I'll take my stuff.